Tyler Mitchell vanished on October 15, 2017, during a senior class field trip to the Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona. The 17-year-old from Roosevelt High School in Phoenix was last seen photographing the canyon's rim area near Hopi Point around 3:30 p.m., according to park rangers and school officials. Tyler was a typical high school senior, according to his mother, Sarah Mitchell, who described her son as responsible and academically focused. He maintained a 3.6 GPA and had already submitted applications to Arizona State University and Northern Arizona University, both for their engineering programs. His father, Mark Mitchell, worked as an automotive technician at a local dealership, while Sarah managed patient records at a medical clinic in central Phoenix. The family lived in a modest 2-bedroom home in the Maryvale neighborhood. Tyler shared the space with his parents and younger sister Emma, who was 14 at the time. According to family statements given to Phoenix police, Tyler had been excited about the Grand Canyon trip for weeks, primarily because of his interest in landscape photography. He had received a Canon EOS Rebel camera for his 16th birthday and spent considerable time practicing with it at local parks and hiking trails around Phoenix. Roosevelt High School organized the annual senior trip as part of their earth science curriculum. According to school records, 43 students participated in the 3-day educational excursion, supervised by 4 teachers and 2 parent volunteers. The trip cost each family $150, which covered transportation, accommodation at the Grand Canyon Village, and meals. Tyler's earth science teacher, Mrs. Linda Henderson, who had organized similar trips for 12 years, described Tyler as an engaged student who frequently asked detailed questions about geological formations. She stated in her police interview that Tyler had specifically requested permission to bring his camera equipment, as he planned to create a photography project documenting different rock layers for extra credit. His best friend, Marcus Rodriguez, who also participated in the trip, told investigators that Tyler had been particularly enthusiastic about capturing sunrise and sunset photographs at various viewpoints. Marcus stated that Tyler had researched optimal shooting locations online and had marked several spots on a park map he had printed before the trip. The two had been friends since middle school and shared an interest in outdoor activities, frequently hiking together in South Mountain Park near their neighborhood. Tyler's girlfriend at the time, Jessica Chen, a junior at Roosevelt High School, described him as cautious and methodical. In her statement to police, she mentioned that Tyler always researched locations thoroughly before visiting and was particularly safety-conscious when hiking. She noted that he had texted her photos from the trip's first day, showing various canyon viewpoints with timestamps indicating he had taken them from designated viewing areas with proper barriers. The senior class had departed Phoenix on October 13th aboard 2 chartered buses. According to the itinerary provided by the school district, students were scheduled to visit multiple educational sites, including the Geology Museum, various rim trail sections, and designated overlooks for their earth science assignments. Students were required to complete observation worksheets and collect data about rock formations, which would contribute to their final semester grades. Tyler roomed with Marcus and 2 other classmates at the Bright Angel Lodge. According to hotel records, the boys checked in without incident and followed all established curfew rules during their first 2 nights. Marcus told investigators that Tyler spent time each evening reviewing the photographs he had taken and planning shots for the following day. On the morning of October 15th, the group's final day, students participated in a guided ranger presentation about canyon geology. According to the Park Service report, Tyler actively participated, asking questions about photographic opportunities at different rim locations. The ranger, Jennifer Walsh, remembered Tyler specifically because he inquired about the best lighting conditions for afternoon photography and whether certain areas offered unique perspectives of the canyon's layered rock formations. Following lunch at the Grand Canyon Village, the group was given supervised free time to complete their individual projects and purchase souvenirs before their scheduled 5 p.m. departure. According to Mrs. Henderson's statement, students were instructed to remain in groups of at least 3 and stay within designated areas along the rim trail. They were required to check in with supervising adults every hour and return to the buses by 4:45 p.m. Tyler's photography equipment that day included his Canon camera, a camera bag, and a small tripod his father had purchased for the trip. According to Marcus, Tyler also carried a water bottle, his wallet containing his student ID and $23 in cash, and his cell phone in a protective case. He wore dark jeans, a Roosevelt High School t-shirt, and hiking boots his parents had bought specifically for the trip. Several classmates reported seeing Tyler at various rim trail locations throughout the afternoon. Student Ashley Morrison told investigators she observed Tyler photographing near the El Tovar Hotel around 2:15 p.m. Another student, David Kim, reported seeing Tyler walking toward Hopi Point around 3:00 p.m., carrying his camera equipment and consulting what appeared to be a park map. The Hopi Point area, where Tyler was last definitively seen, is located approximately 2.5 miles west of Grand Canyon Village, along Hermit Road. The viewpoint offers expansive canyon views and is accessible by park shuttle bus or walking trail. According to Park Service information, Hopi Point typically attracts photographers due to its western exposure and sunset viewing opportunities. Mrs. Henderson conducted her 3:30 p.m. head count at the Grand Canyon Visitor Center as scheduled. When Tyler failed to appear, she initiated the school's emergency protocol, which included immediately contacting park rangers and attempting to reach Tyler by cell phone. His phone went directly to voicemail, which family members later confirmed was unusual, as Tyler typically kept his phone charged and answered calls promptly. Marcus told investigators he had last spoken with Tyler around 2:45 p.m. near the Bright Angel trailhead. According to his statement, Tyler mentioned wanting to photograph the canyon's afternoon shadows and planned to visit Hopi Point before returning to meet the group. Marcus said Tyler appeared in good spirits and showed no signs of distress or unusual behavior. Park rangers began an initial search at 4:00 p.m. when Tyler failed to respond to multiple attempts at contact. Ranger Walsh, who had spoken with Tyler that morning, joined the search effort and checked several viewpoints along the rim trail. By 4:30 p.m., when Tyler had not been located, park officials expanded the search and notified the Coconino County Sheriff's Office. Tyler's parents received the call from school officials at 5:15 p.m. while they were at home in Phoenix. According to Sarah Mitchell's later statements, the family immediately drove to the Grand Canyon, arriving at park headquarters around 9:30 p.m. Mark Mitchell told investigators that the drive was the longest 3.5 hours of their lives, as they tried to contact Tyler's phone repeatedly without success. The initial search on October 15th continued until darkness made operations unsafe. Park rangers, assisted by Coconino County search and rescue volunteers, covered approximately 8 miles of rim trail and checked all designated viewpoints. They found no immediate evidence of Tyler's presence beyond witness statements, placing him at Hopi Point earlier that afternoon. Tyler's camera equipment was not recovered during the initial search efforts. Park officials noted that his backpack, camera, and personal items were not found at any of the searched locations. This absence of equipment became a significant factor in early investigative theories about what might have occurred. The Roosevelt High School group departed the Grand Canyon as scheduled that evening, though Tyler's closest friends, including Marcus, requested permission to remain and assist in search efforts. School policy required all students to return with the group, but parents were allowed to stay if they chose to do so independently. By the end of the first day of searching, park rangers had covered all primary viewpoints along the South Rim Trail system within a 3-mile radius of Tyler's last known location. The search would continue for the following several days, expanding to include helicopter reconnaissance and specialized rescue teams familiar with the canyon's complex terrain and numerous unmarked areas where someone could potentially fall or become lost. The case immediately attracted attention from local Phoenix news outlets, who reported on the missing Roosevelt High School student. Tyler's disappearance marked the beginning of what would become a 7-year mystery that would challenge investigators, devastate his family, and ultimately require new technology to potentially provide answers about what happened during those final afternoon hours at one of America's most visited national parks. The morning of October 16, 2017, began with a coordinated search effort involving multiple agencies across the Grand Canyon National Park. Park Superintendent Michael Chen authorized the deployment of additional resources, including helicopter units and specialized cliff rescue teams, marking the transition from a missing person report to a full-scale emergency operation. At 6 a.m., Coconino County Search and Rescue Coordinator Dave Martinez established a command post at Grand Canyon Village. According to official reports, the search team included 12 park rangers, 8 county search and rescue volunteers, 2 helicopter crews, and a K-9 unit from Flagstaff Police Department. Martinez, who had coordinated similar operations for 15 years, told reporters that the canyon's vast terrain and numerous cliff areas required systematic coverage to ensure no location was overlooked. Tyler's parents, Mark and Sarah Mitchell, spent the night at the El Tovar Hotel after arriving late on October 15th. Sarah Mitchell later described the sleepless night to local news station KPHO, stating that she and her husband took turns walking the rim trail with flashlights, hoping Tyler might respond to their calls. Park rangers had advised against nighttime searching due to safety concerns, but family members felt compelled to continue looking. The search operation on October 16th focused on expanding beyond the immediate Hopi Point area where Tyler was last seen. Helicopter pilot Captain James Rodriguez of the Arizona Department of Public Safety reported conducting aerial reconnaissance flights covering approximately 40 square miles of canyon terrain. The helicopter crew used high-powered binoculars and thermal imaging equipment to scan cliff faces, ledges, and areas inaccessible by ground teams. Ground search teams divided into 6 groups, each assigned specific sectors of the South Rim Trail System. According to Martinez's operational report, teams methodically searched all designated viewpoints, unofficial trails, and areas where someone might seek photographic opportunities. Each team carried GPS units to track their coverage and radio equipment to maintain contact with the command post. The K-9 unit, led by Officer Rebecca Torres and her German Shepherd partner Max, attempted to establish Tyler's scent trail using clothing items provided by his family. Torres reported that Max detected Tyler's scent at multiple locations along the rim trail, consistent with witness statements about his movements throughout October 15th. However, the scent trail became inconsistent near Hopi Point, where wind conditions and heavy tourist traffic from the previous day had likely dispersed scent markers. Marcus Rodriguez, Tyler's best friend, provided investigators with detailed information about Tyler's planned photography locations. During his second interview with park rangers, Marcus produced Tyler's printed park map, which contained handwritten notes about optimal shooting times and specific viewpoints. The map showed check marks at several locations Tyler had already visited, with Hopi Point circled and marked 3:30 p.m. sunset prep. Jessica Chen, Tyler's girlfriend, provided phone records showing their text message exchanges from October 15th. According to the records released by Phoenix Police, Tyler's last message was sent at 3:17 p.m., containing a photograph of the canyon view from near Hopi Point with the text, "Amazing light today, getting some great shots." Jessica attempted to respond at 3:22 p.m., but her message showed as undelivered, indicating Tyler's phone was either turned off or out of service range. On October 17th, the search expanded to include technical rope rescue specialists from the Coconino County Sheriff's Office. Sergeant Patricia Williams, who supervised the technical rescue team, explained that searchers needed to examine cliff faces and ledges below rim level, where someone might have fallen or become stranded. The team used rappelling equipment to access areas up to 200 feet below the rim in the Hopi Point vicinity. Dr. Amanda Foster, a forensic psychologist consulted by investigators, reviewed Tyler's background information and interviewed family members to assess the likelihood of voluntary disappearance. Based on her evaluation, Foster reported to investigators that Tyler showed no indicators of depression, substance abuse, or desire to run away. She noted his college application submissions, strong family relationships, and future-oriented behavior as evidence that voluntary disappearance was unlikely. The Arizona Department of Public Safety assigned Detective Lieutenant Robert Hayes to coordinate the criminal investigation aspects of Tyler's disappearance. Hayes, who had 22 years of experience with missing persons cases, established protocols for interviewing all trip participants and examining potential evidence. His initial assessment, documented in police reports, indicated no immediate evidence of foul play, but he emphasized the need for thorough investigation of all possibilities. Roosevelt High School principal Margaret Thompson provided investigators with complete roster information for all trip participants, including students, teachers, and parent volunteers. Thompson also supplied school records showing Tyler's academic standing, disciplinary history, which showed no incidents, and his participation in school activities. She described Tyler as a model student who had never exhibited problematic behavior during his 4 years at Roosevelt. Parent volunteer Carol Stevens, who had helped supervise the trip, told investigators she remembered seeing Tyler at approximately 3 p.m., walking alone toward the shuttle bus stop near Hermit Road. Stevens stated that Tyler appeared focused and was consulting what looked like a map or paper. She noted that his behavior seemed normal and that he acknowledged her with a wave when she called out a greeting. The second parent volunteer, Robert Chen, no relation to Jessica Chen, reported that he had specifically looked for Tyler during the 3:30 p.m. check-in at the visitor center because he knew Tyler was friends with his own son, David. Chen told investigators that when Tyler failed to appear, he immediately joined Mrs. Henderson in searching nearby areas before park rangers were contacted. Cell phone records obtained through a court order showed Tyler's phone last connected to cellular towers at 3:19 p.m. on October 15th. The phone's GPS data, according to Verizon Wireless records, indicated his last recorded location was consistent with the Hopi Point area. Technical analysis revealed no further phone activity, suggesting the device was either damaged, powered off, or located in an area without cellular coverage. On October 18th, search operations expanded to include the Colorado River corridor below the South Rim. River Ranger Michael Thompson coordinated with commercial rafting companies to examine riverbanks and report any unusual sightings. Thompson explained that seasonal weather patterns and canyon topography made it possible for objects to travel significant distances if they entered the river system. Hopi Point underwent detailed forensic examination by crime scene technicians from the Coconino County Sheriff's Office. Technician Sarah Lopez documented the area using photography and measurements, collecting potential evidence including fabric fibers found on vegetation near the rim. However, Lopez's report noted that the high volume of daily visitors made it difficult to determine if collected materials were related to Tyler's case. Tyler's camera equipment remained missing throughout the expanded search efforts. The Canon EOS Rebel camera, valued at approximately $400 along with his camera bag and tripod, were not recovered from any searched areas. Investigators noted that the missing equipment could provide crucial clues about Tyler's final activities and location. Mrs. Henderson provided investigators with detailed timeline information about the October 15th activities. According to her written statement, the supervised free time period began at 1:30 p.m., with students instructed to remain in designated areas and check in hourly. Henderson documented each check-in time and noted that Tyler had participated in the 2:30 p.m. check-in at the Geology Museum, but failed to appear for the 3:30 p.m. check-in at the Visitor Center. Weather records from the National Weather Service indicated clear conditions on October 15th, with temperatures reaching 72 degrees Fahrenheit and wind speeds of 8 to 12 miles per hour from the southwest. Visibility was reported as excellent, with no precipitation or atmospheric conditions that would have impacted photography activities or created dangerous conditions for rim trail walking. By October 19th, search coordinators had covered over 60 square miles of canyon terrain without locating Tyler or his equipment. Martinez announced that active searching would transition to a monitoring phase, with park rangers maintaining awareness during regular patrol duties. The decision reflected the reality that available resources had been thoroughly deployed without producing significant leads. The Mitchell family established a reward fund of $5,000 for information leading to Tyler's location. Mark Mitchell, speaking to reporters from KNXV television, stated that the family would not give up searching and requested that anyone with information contact park rangers or local police. Sarah Mitchell added that they were grateful for the extensive search efforts, but remained hopeful that Tyler would be found. Phoenix-based private investigator Daniel Morrison was hired by the Mitchell family on October 21st to provide additional investigative support. Morrison, who specialized in missing persons cases, began conducting independent interviews with trip participants and reviewing all available evidence. His initial assessment, shared with the family, suggested that the case would likely require extended investigation due to the challenging terrain and limited physical evidence. Local news coverage intensified during the search period, with Phoenix television stations providing daily updates on the operation. The story attracted regional attention when it was picked up by Arizona Republic newspaper and later by national news outlets. The coverage included interviews with Tyler's family, school officials, and search coordinators, maintaining public awareness of the case. Roosevelt High School organized a vigil for Tyler on October 20th, attended by approximately 300 students, faculty, and community members. Principal Thompson led the gathering, emphasizing Tyler's positive contributions to the school community and expressing hope for his safe return. The vigil included speakers who knew Tyler personally and a moment of silence for continued search efforts. Social media campaigns emerged organically among Tyler's classmates and extended social networks. Facebook groups dedicated to sharing information about Tyler's case attracted hundreds of members, including people who had never met him but wanted to help spread awareness. The online activity generated several false leads that required investigation, ultimately consuming additional law enforcement resources. As October 2017 concluded, Tyler's case remained classified as an active missing person investigation with the Coconino County Sheriff's Office and National Park Service. Detective Hayes confirmed that all available leads had been pursued and that investigators would continue monitoring for new information. The case file remained open, awaiting developments that might provide answers about what happened during Tyler Mitchell's final hours at the Grand Canyon on that clear October afternoon. The investigation into Tyler Mitchell's disappearance entered a new phase in November 2017, when Detective Lieutenant Robert Hayes received authorization to expand the inquiry beyond the immediate search area. Hayes assembled a task force including specialists from the FBI's Phoenix field office, recognizing that the case might involve complexities requiring federal resources and expertise. FBI Special Agent Maria Gonzalez joined the investigation on November 8, 2017. Bringing experience from similar cases involving missing persons in national parks. Gonzalez's initial case review identified several areas requiring deeper examination, including a comprehensive analysis of all trip participants' backgrounds and a detailed reconstruction of the timeline leading to Tyler's disappearance. The first significant development came when investigators discovered inconsistencies in witness statements regarding Tyler's activities on October 15th. During follow-up interviews conducted in November, 2 students provided information that differed from their initial statements to park rangers. Student Jennifer Walsh reported that she had seen Tyler near the Bright Angel trailhead at approximately 3:45 p.m., 15 minutes after his last confirmed sighting at Hopi Point and after the scheduled check-in time. Walsh's revised statement created a timeline discrepancy that required investigation. According to her November interview with Detective Hayes, Walsh had initially been uncertain about the time and location of her Tyler sighting. However, after reviewing photographs she had taken that day, she identified a background image that appeared to show Tyler walking near the trailhead area. The photograph's timestamp supported her claim of the 3:45 p.m. sighting. A second student, Michael Torres, also provided updated information during November interviews. Torres told investigators he had observed Tyler talking with an adult male near the El Tovar Hotel around 3:20 p.m. This conversation had not been mentioned in Torres's initial statement, which he explained was due to the chaos and confusion following Tyler's disappearance. Torres described the adult as wearing hiking clothes and carrying a large camera, suggesting he might have been a tourist or photographer. Special Agent Gonzalez initiated background investigations on all adults present at the Grand Canyon on October 15th who had registered at park facilities or been documented by security cameras. This process revealed that 47 registered guests at park lodges that day carried professional photography equipment, according to hotel registration records and equipment rental logs. The investigation team also examined social media posts and digital photographs from other visitors present at the Grand Canyon during the relevant time period. Digital forensics specialist Thomas Chen analyzed hundreds of photos posted to social media platforms, searching for background images that might show Tyler or his activities. This painstaking review identified Tyler in 3 photographs posted by unrelated tourists, confirming his presence at locations consistent with witness statements. Private investigator Daniel Morrison working independently for the Mitchell family, conducted interviews with Roosevelt High School students who had not been questioned by official investigators. Morrison's interviews revealed that Tyler had expressed interest in accessing areas of the canyon beyond designated viewpoints to capture unique photographic angles. Student Amanda Rodriguez told Morrison that Tyler had researched off-trail photography locations online before the trip. Morrison's findings raised questions about whether Tyler might have attempted to access restricted areas for photography purposes. Park Ranger Jennifer Walsh confirmed that visitors occasionally attempted to bypass barriers to reach what they perceived as better photographic positions. Such behavior, while dangerous, was not uncommon among serious photography enthusiasts visiting the canyon. In December 2017, the investigation took an unexpected turn when park maintenance worker Carlos Mendez reported finding camera equipment near the Hermit Trail, approximately 1 mile from Hopi Point. Mendez discovered a camera lens cap and portion of a camera strap caught in vegetation about 50 feet below the rim level. The items were recovered and sent for forensic analysis to determine if they belonged to Tyler. Forensic analysis conducted by the Arizona Department of Public Safety Crime Laboratory confirmed that the lens cap was compatible with Tyler's Canon EOS Rebel camera model. However, the lab could not definitively prove the items belonged to Tyler, as thousands of similar cameras were in use by park visitors. The location of the discovery, away from Tyler's last known position, suggested either that he had traveled further than initially believed, or that the items had been moved by wind or wildlife. The discovery prompted a renewed search effort in the Hermit Trail area during the first week of December 2017. Technical rescue teams rappelled into areas below the rim where the camera equipment was found, searching for additional items or evidence. The 3-day operation covered approximately 2 square miles of previously unsearched terrain, but yielded no additional discoveries. Family dynamics became strained as the investigation progressed without definitive answers. Sarah Mitchell told investigators in a December interview that the uncertainty was affecting the entire family's daily functioning. Tyler's younger sister, Emma, had been receiving counseling through the school district to help cope with her brother's disappearance and the ongoing media attention surrounding the case. Mark Mitchell took extended leave from his job at the automotive dealership to focus on supporting search efforts and working with investigators. The financial impact of the missing work, combined with expenses related to Tyler's case, created additional stress for the family. Community fundraising efforts organized by Roosevelt High School and local churches helped offset some costs, but the emotional toll remained significant. Roosevelt High School principal Margaret Thompson reported that Tyler's disappearance had affected the entire student body, particularly his senior class. Graduation planning for spring 2018 included discussions about how to acknowledge Tyler's absence while maintaining appropriate hope for his return. The school provided counseling services and support groups for students struggling with the uncertainty surrounding their missing classmate. Jessica Chen, Tyler's girlfriend, experienced particular difficulty coping with the situation. According to her parents, Jessica blamed herself for not insisting that Tyler stay with the main group on October 15th. She had spoken with Tyler by phone the night before his disappearance and later wondered if she had missed signs that something was troubling him, despite investigators finding no evidence of pre-existing problems. In January 2018, Detective Hayes received a report from a hiker who claimed to have seen someone matching Tyler's description on a remote trail in the Kaibab National Forest, approximately 30 miles from the Grand Canyon. The witness, experienced hiker Donald Peterson, provided a detailed description that included clothing consistent with what Tyler had been wearing. However, the sighting was nearly 3 months after Tyler's disappearance, and Peterson acknowledged he could not be completely certain of the identification. The reported sighting prompted a coordinated search of the Kaibab National Forest area, involving local sheriff's deputies and Forest Service personnel. The 2-day search covered hiking trails and camping areas within a 10-mile radius of Peterson's reported sighting location. Despite thorough coverage of the area, searchers found no evidence supporting the witness report. Special Agent Gonzalez's investigation expanded to include analysis of Tyler's internet activity in the weeks preceding his disappearance. Digital forensics examination of Tyler's computer and social media accounts revealed extensive research into Grand Canyon photography techniques and locations. Browser history showed Tyler had visited websites discussing advanced photography positions and techniques for capturing unique canyon perspectives. The internet research included visits to photography forums, where Tyler had asked questions about equipment recommendations for canyon photography. Forum participants had provided suggestions about optimal shooting locations and timing, including some references to areas that were not part of standard tourist routes. These discussions indicated Tyler's serious commitment to improving his photography skills and capturing exceptional images. Family friend and Roosevelt High School photography teacher David Kim provided investigators with additional context about Tyler's photographic interests. Kim described Tyler as an advanced student photographer who was particularly interested in landscape composition and lighting techniques. Kim noted that Tyler had expressed frustration with crowds at popular viewpoints and had discussed his desire to find more secluded locations for photography. By spring 2018, the official investigation had generated over 300 pages of reports, witness statements, and forensic analysis results. Detective Hayes characterized the case as one of the most thoroughly documented missing person investigations he had supervised. Despite the extensive documentation, investigators remained without a definitive explanation for Tyler's disappearance. The Mitchell family marked the 6-month anniversary of Tyler's disappearance with a public appeal for new information. Speaking at a press conference covered by Phoenix television stations, Sarah Mitchell requested that anyone who might have seen Tyler or had information about his case contact investigators. The family announced an increase in their reward offer to $10,000 for information leading to Tyler's location. Local news coverage of the 6-month milestone included interviews with search coordinators who emphasized that the case remained active. Coconino County Sheriff Jim Driscoll stated that his department continued to follow up on tips and leads as they were received. Park Service officials confirmed that rangers remained alert for any evidence related to Tyler's case during their regular patrol duties. The investigation faced challenges related to the passage of time and environmental factors. Detective Hayes noted that potential physical evidence might have been compromised by weather conditions, wildlife activity, and the normal processes of decomposition that affect organic materials in outdoor environments. The canyon's extreme temperature variations and seasonal precipitation patterns created additional complications for evidence preservation. As 2018 progressed, the frequency of new leads and tips decreased significantly. Hayes reported that the case received approximately 2 tips per week by mid-year, compared to dozens of daily reports during the initial weeks following Tyler's disappearance. Many of the tips received were from well-meaning individuals who reported sightings in various locations across Arizona and neighboring states, but none provided verifiable information. Tyler's case attracted attention from national missing persons advocacy organizations, including the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, operated by the Department of Justice. Tyler's information was entered into multiple databases designed to help identify unidentified remains and connect missing persons reports across jurisdictional boundaries. The emotional impact on Tyler's family continued to evolve as the first anniversary of his disappearance approached. Family counselor Dr. Rachel Martinez, who began working with the Mitchells in summer 2018, described their situation as complicated grief, where the absence of closure made normal mourning processes difficult. The family struggled with decisions about Tyler's belongings, his bedroom, and planning for what would have been his high school graduation. By October 2018, 1 year after Tyler's disappearance, investigators had pursued every available lead without achieving resolution. The case remained open and active, but Detective Hayes acknowledged that new developments would likely require either new witness information or unexpected evidence discoveries. The investigation had consumed thousands of hours of law enforcement time and resources, representing one of the most intensive missing person searches in Coconino County history. The anniversary prompted renewed media coverage and family appeals for information, but generated no significant new leads. Tyler Mitchell's case had become another of the thousands of missing persons cases that challenge investigators and families across the United States, joining the ranks of disappearances that remain unsolved despite extensive investigative efforts and community support. On March 22, 2024, professional wildlife photographer David Chen launched his drone from the South Rim Trail near Hopi Point to capture aerial footage for a documentary about Grand Canyon wildlife. Chen, who had been commissioned by National Geographic to document seasonal animal migration patterns, was conducting his third day of filming when his drone's camera captured images that would reignite the 7-year-old investigation into Tyler Mitchell's disappearance. Chen was reviewing his footage that evening at his hotel when he noticed an unusual formation approximately 180 feet below the rim in an area called Devil's Corkscrew, a narrow ledge system not visible from standard viewpoints. The drone's 4K camera had recorded what appeared to be fabric material and metallic objects wedged against rock formations in a location that would have been impossible to spot during ground-based searches conducted in 2017. According to Chen's statement to park rangers, he initially thought the objects might be discarded camping equipment or debris blown by canyon winds. However, upon closer examination of the footage, he identified what appeared to be a camera bag and portions of clothing consistent with items that might belong to a missing person. Chen immediately contacted Grand Canyon National Park headquarters to report his discovery. Park Superintendent Michael Rodriguez authorized an immediate technical rescue operation to investigate the drone footage findings. The location identified by Chen required specialized cliff rescue equipment and experienced technical climbers due to its position on an unstable ledge system. Rodriguez assembled a team including 2 technical rescue specialists from Coconino County Sheriff's Office and a Park Service photographer to document any discoveries. On March 24, 2024, technical rescue specialists Sergeant Patricia Williams and Deputy Michael Torres rappelled to the location identified in Chen's drone footage. Williams reported that the site contained multiple items, including a severely weathered camera bag, portions of clothing, a water bottle, and what appeared to be camera equipment scattered across a narrow ledge approximately 8 feet long and 3 feet wide. The rescue team documented their findings with extensive photography before carefully collecting all items for transport to the surface. Williams noted that the objects appeared to have been at the location for an extended period based on their weathered condition and the accumulation of debris around them. The position suggested that the items had fallen from the rim level and become trapped on the ledge during their descent. Deputy Torres recovered a camera body that, despite significant weather damage, retained identifiable serial numbers. The camera was identified as a Canon EOS Rebel model, consistent with the equipment Tyler Mitchell had been carrying on October 15, 2017. Additional items collected included portions of a Roosevelt High School t-shirt, a water bottle with a partially readable label, and fragments of what appeared to be a park map. Detective Lieutenant Robert Hayes, who had led the original investigation, was contacted immediately when the items were recovered. Hayes, now nearing retirement, had maintained the Tyler Mitchell case file as one of his active investigations throughout the intervening years. He arranged for immediate forensic analysis of all recovered items at the Arizona Department of Public Safety Crime Laboratory. Forensic analysis conducted over the following week confirmed that the camera's serial number matched records provided by Tyler's family in 2017. DNA analysis of fabric samples from the clothing fragments yielded genetic material consistent with Tyler Mitchell's DNA profile, which had been established during the original investigation using personal items from his bedroom. Dr. Amanda Foster, the forensic pathologist who assisted with the original investigation, reviewed the condition and positioning of the recovered items. Foster's analysis suggested that the objects had fallen from rim level and been protected from complete deterioration by the ledge's position, which shielded them from direct precipitation and extreme wind exposure. The scattered pattern indicated impact with rock surfaces during the fall. The discovery location was approximately 400 yards from Hopi Point, where Tyler had last been definitively seen alive. Analysis of canyon topography and wind patterns by National Weather Service meteorologist Dr. James Rodriguez indicated that objects falling from the Hopi Point area could potentially reach the Devil's Corkscrew ledge system under certain atmospheric conditions. Mark and Sarah Mitchell were notified of the discovery on March 25, 2024, by Detective Hayes during a meeting at the Coconino County Sheriff's Office. According to Hayes's report, the family expressed mixed emotions of relief at finally having answers and renewed grief at the confirmation of their fears. Sarah Mitchell stated that the uncertainty had been the most difficult aspect of the 7-year period, and that having confirmation provided a form of closure. Tyler's younger sister Emma, now 21 and a college student at Arizona State University, told investigators that the discovery helped explain the family's inability to move forward emotionally. Emma had postponed making major life decisions, including career choices, while maintaining hope that Tyler might return. The confirmation allowed her to begin processing grief that had been suspended for 7 years. The recovery prompted a renewed technical search of the area surrounding Devil's Corkscrew to determine if additional evidence or remains might be present. This search, conducted over 4 days in early April 2024, involved expanded rappelling operations and the use of ground-penetrating radar equipment to examine areas where remains might have been obscured by rock falls or vegetation growth. Search teams recovered additional items, including fragments of Tyler's tripod, which had been broken into multiple pieces, and portions of his wallet containing his student identification card. The leather wallet had protected some contents from complete deterioration, including a family photograph and several business cards Tyler had collected during college preparation activities. Coconino County Medical Examiner Dr. Susan Martinez reviewed all recovered evidence and concluded that the pattern of items and their condition was consistent with a fall from rim level. Martinez noted that the absence of human remains on the ledge was not unusual, as the canyon's ecosystem included numerous scavengers, and the extended time period would have allowed for natural processes to disperse any organic material. The official determination, issued by the Coconino County Sheriff's Office on April 15, 2024, classified Tyler Mitchell's death as accidental. The investigation concluded that Tyler had likely approached too close to an unstable rim area while positioning himself or his equipment for photography, resulting in a fall that caused his death. The case was officially closed after 7 years and 6 months of investigation. Roosevelt High School, now under the leadership of Principal James Rodriguez, organized a memorial service for Tyler on May 10, 2024. The service, attended by over 400 people, including former classmates, teachers, and community members, provided an opportunity for formal closure that had not been possible during the years of uncertainty. Many attendees shared memories of Tyler's enthusiasm for photography and his positive impact on their lives during his time at the school. Jessica Chen, now married and living in California, returned to Phoenix for the memorial service. Speaking to local news reporters, Chen described the relief of finally understanding what had happened to Tyler, while expressing regret that his life had been cut short pursuing his passion for photography. She noted that Tyler's memory had influenced her own life choices, leading her to pursue a career in environmental education and outdoor safety advocacy. Marcus Rodriguez, Tyler's best friend, spoke at the memorial service about Tyler's enthusiasm for photography and his careful approach to outdoor activities. Marcus emphasized that Tyler's accident represented the kind of tragic occurrence that could happen to anyone. Despite reasonable precautions and safety awareness, Marcus had become a park ranger himself, partly inspired by his experience with Tyler's case and his desire to help prevent similar tragedies. The Mitchell family established the Tyler Mitchell Memorial Photography Scholarship at Roosevelt High School, providing annual awards to students pursuing photography or environmental science education. The scholarship was funded through community donations and would provide 3 recipients annually with $1,000 toward their college education expenses. The first scholarships were awarded at the school's graduation ceremony in May 2024. David Chen, the wildlife photographer whose drone discovered Tyler's belongings, donated his footage to the National Park Service for use in safety education programs. Chen's discovery demonstrated the potential for new technology to resolve cold cases and provide answers to families who had endured years of uncertainty about missing loved ones. His footage became part of a training program for search and rescue teams. Grand Canyon National Park officials used Tyler's case to enhance their visitor safety protocols, particularly regarding photography activities near rim areas. New signage installed in 2024 included specific warnings about the dangers of approaching cliff edges for photography purposes, and park rangers received additional training in recognizing risky visitor behavior. The improvements were implemented at multiple viewpoints along the South Rim Trail system. The resolution of Tyler's case attracted national media attention, with coverage by CNN, Fox News, and ABC News focusing on the role of drone technology in solving cold cases. The story highlighted both the tragic circumstances of Tyler's death and the dedication of investigators who had maintained the case as an active investigation for over 7 years. Several law enforcement agencies contacted Coconino County to learn about their protocols for long-term missing persons investigations. Private investigator Daniel Morrison, who had worked with the Mitchell family since 2017, emphasized that Tyler's case demonstrated the importance of never giving up on missing persons investigations. Morrison noted that advances in technology, including drone capabilities and improved forensic analysis techniques, could provide new opportunities to resolve older cases that had previously seemed unsolvable. He began consulting with other families dealing with similar situations. Dr. Rachel Martinez, the family counselor who had worked with the Mitchells throughout their ordeal, observed that the resolution allowed the family to transition from ambiguous loss to conventional grief processing. The ability to understand what had happened to Tyler enabled family members to begin making peace with their loss and moving forward with their lives. Martinez published a case study about the psychological impact of prolonged uncertainty in missing persons cases. Tyler's case became part of training materials used by the National Association for Search and Rescue, illustrating the challenges of conducting searches in complex terrain and the potential for evidence to remain hidden for extended periods. The case study emphasized the importance of maintaining active investigations and remaining open to new technological solutions. Training programs began incorporating drone search techniques as standard protocol. Emma Mitchell, speaking at her college graduation ceremony in May 2024, dedicated her degree in environmental science to her brother's memory. She announced plans to pursue graduate studies in park management, with the goal of contributing to visitor safety programs at national parks. Emma's career choice represented a way of honoring Tyler's love for natural environments while working to prevent similar tragedies from affecting other families. The Tyler Mitchell case officially closed on June 1, 2024, with Detective Hayes filing his final report before retiring from the Coconino County Sheriff's Office. Hayes's report documented the extensive investigation efforts, the technological breakthrough that provided resolution, and recommendations for future missing persons cases in similar environments. His recommendations included regular drone surveys of areas inaccessible to ground search teams. Mark Mitchell returned to work at the automotive dealership, while Sarah Mitchell resumed her position at the medical clinic. Both parents expressed gratitude to the investigators, search volunteers, and community members who had supported their family throughout the 7-year ordeal. They emphasized that while Tyler's death was tragic, the discovery provided the closure necessary to continue with their lives and honor his memory appropriately. The family held a private burial service on July 15, 2024, at a Phoenix cemetery where Tyler's recovered belongings were interred. The service provided a formal conclusion to Tyler's story and allowed family and friends to say goodbye in a way that had not been possible during the years of uncertainty about his fate. The burial service included readings from Tyler's favorite poems and a display of his photography work. Mrs. Linda Henderson, Tyler's former earth science teacher who had organized the Grand Canyon trip, attended the burial service and spoke about Tyler's curiosity and enthusiasm for learning about geological formations. Henderson, who had retired from teaching in 2021, noted that Tyler's case had influenced safety protocols for all subsequent school field trips, ensuring that other families would not experience similar tragedies. Roosevelt High School created a permanent memorial display in their main hallway, featuring Tyler's photography work and information about outdoor safety. The display included QR codes linking to resources about photography safety and wilderness awareness, ensuring that Tyler's story would continue to educate future students about the importance of caution during outdoor activities. Several photography organizations, including the Arizona Photography Society, established safety guidelines specifically referencing Tyler's case. These guidelines emphasize the importance of maintaining safe distances from cliff edges, working with spotters when possible, and using telephoto lenses instead of approaching dangerous locations for close-up shots. The guidelines were distributed to photography clubs and schools throughout the Southwest. Tyler Mitchell's disappearance and eventual discovery became a reminder of both the beauty and dangers present in America's national parks and the dedication of law enforcement professionals who continue investigating missing persons cases long after public attention has moved elsewhere. His story concluded not with mystery, but with answers that provided peace to those who had loved him and searched for him across 7 difficult years. The case also demonstrated the evolving role of technology in law enforcement and search operations. The drone footage that revealed Tyler's belongings represented a new chapter in missing persons investigations, suggesting that other cold cases might benefit from similar technological approaches. Several police departments began incorporating drone surveys into their standard protocols for missing persons cases in wilderness areas. Tyler's legacy extended beyond the resolution of his individual case to influence broader discussions about outdoor safety education, the psychological impact of ambiguous loss on families, and the potential for emerging technologies to provide closure in previously unsolvable cases. His story became a case study used in multiple academic and professional settings, ensuring that lessons learned from his tragedy would benefit others facing similar circumstances.